Right, what we're going to do is create a project using an image off the net. We're going to use some clear acrylic plastic, probably some 3mm clear acrylic plastic, and a strip heater to bend a project up. So the first thing we need to do is to establish this image. So all I've done is just gone to the internet. I've typed in Google image search here. Just a general area that I've studied. It's basically this Surfwaves logo. I'm looking for some logos down the page, something that catches my eye that I can work with. This here is what I think I want to have a look at. So click on the image, opposite mouse click, save image. And now I have saved that image there to previously. I've renamed it from what it is there to SurfDog, so you could type in SurfDog here and save it. Once you've got your image, then we've got to do a little bit of cleanup. To get an image ready for the laser, we need to convert it from multicolor to just black and white imaging. So we've got to work back from a color image to something we can create a laser black and white. So if I go to my desktop, go to laser project, open up the dog project. Now if I zoom in on that, so Control plus or Command plus depending on what platform you're in, you notice here it's very pixely, and I know this image is going to be a bit more of a problem to work with. So what I'm going to do straight away before I go any further, I'm going to go image size, change it from pixels to percentage. I'm going to expand this by 300%. Now you could expand it whatever you like, but I wouldn't probably go much more than that. Now you notice now that when we go in on the object, there's a lot more pixels per these lines. So that's sort of what we've done it for, just to increase our range. A couple of things we might do to start with. I want to crop out just the bit I want to use, so I'm going to create just a profile selection tool around the outside. I'm only going to grab the dog. I'm going to try and avoid all this information, the outside shadows. Go image, crop, select, deselect. So that gives me the start of the image. Okay, we'll start to strip some colors out. So we go image, mode, grayscale. Just click discard. Okay, colors are out, but still don't have a lot of contrast to work with. Got lots of grays that are very close to each other here. So the next process is to go image, adjust, exposure. Now if you start to have a play around with this, you'll start to notice that I can darken. Okay, I'm starting to darken the main areas that I want. If I go too far, obviously I lose all my detail. If you watch the collar area here, I want to still keep some character in the collar. Probably somewhere there. If I try, okay, what I'm aiming for, if you notice the black spot on his back, I'm trying to get that to a solid color. Okay, so I think that's probably the best I can do there. I go OK. Now if I go Control plus, come in a little bit closer on him, zoom up into the head area, there's some problems here. I don't have any line across the eyeballs. I probably want to make the eyes a little bit bigger. I've got bits that are floating. I've got his ears that are probably a little bit too fine. I've got bits missing out of the dark black in the lip here. Same in the collar. So let's just grab a brush. Now if you click and hold, it's normally set to brush, but we want pencil. Move your mouse out onto the screen, it'll show you how big that cursor is. I can flick between black and white here, they're the only colours I'm going to need. I'm going to stick in black, so black is what I want. Probably 5. I'm just looking at the width that I might need to use. I think 5 should be fine. Click back in there. Okay, now you just go in, and if you use a mouse and you're nice and careful, Control Z will always get you out of trouble. doesn't matter if you're a little bit rough, because when we go into the vector stage, you'll find that the vector stage will clean up a lot of these images. Okay, so give him some eyelids, make his eyes a little bit bolder. Around the eyeballs here. Join up his eyebrow. Maybe thicken up. And you'll see why I'm thickening those a little bit later, because we're going to cut the profile of the dog out. And I don't want that to be too fragile. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of license here so that I might even add a bit more to his tail. Pan up, I'm looking for any areas that aren't nice and defined. I think most of the surfboard here obviously is a problem. I might just add a bit more. I'm not worried if my hand's a little bit wriggly. This is obviously an area I need to work with. I need to put in a nice curve, blend that one in. I might even add a bit of my own artwork here. Okay. Just playing around, just adding a bit of character to it. I'm pretty happy with most of that. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to Control minus, pull back out, look generally at anything I need to do. I think most of that looks pretty good. Say the bottom of the collar here, I might flick my colours over. I might decide to add a bit more colour, even though that's pure white that you'll see in a minute. What we need to do now is we can probably leave him like it is. I'm going to grab a select tool, Control minus so I get the whole thing. I'm going to use the magic wand, which is the pull out from that one there. Now you can see that it's profiled all the way around there. What I can do now is I can change it to white, which it is, grab a big pencil tool, just slide a huge one across, maybe even bigger than that, and I'm just going to block out all that background information into white. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. There's some shaded areas there I'm not too concerned about. Okay, deselect, so select, deselect. And what I've got now is the dog cleared up, but where we're aiming for is a profile on the top of a little shelf. So what we need is to create a space down the bottom here, which would be a shelf that we're going to bend up on the laser cutter, or on the bender, but we need to add some information. So what I'll do in the next tutorial is show you how to do that.